Thank you so much for doing this. Really appreciate it. So, tell us a little bit about why you're in Berlin. How did you come to Berlin?
BASE is a home-based project. We do all kinds of programs out of our home. At the time, we rented an apartment in Kreuzberg. We made partnerships with local community organizations, and we just tested it out. 1 month in Berlin, summer 2016, and it was great. And we realized that there was something bigger here, that we could support this community in developing capacity, access to Jewish literacy. We launched Base Berlin as an initiative of Hillel Germany on a permanent basis. And so that's what brought us to Berlin, and that's what we are doing today.
So amazing. So it's clear you're passionate about the programming and the work you're doing. Why Eastern Europe? Why is that such a passion for you and your husband?
All four of my grandparents are survivors of the Holocaust. My grandfathers are from Poland, and my grandmothers are originally from Czechoslovakia, what is today southwestern Ukraine. I didn't grow up knowing the full extent of what they'd been through. As I got older, some of my grandparents chose to share, while others chose to remain quiet. And in many ways, coming to Europe is a way for me to reclaim my heritage. It's a way for me to live here, to understand the Yiddishkeit that my grandparents were robbed of. And it's a way for me to just announce that I'm here and that we're here. And we're here to be Jews and we're here to live Jewishly. And yeah, no one can really take that away from us.
You mentioned that all four of your grandparents are survivors. Is there some connection with the Claims Conference?
Some of my grandparents have been receiving reparations for a long time. I can remember some years of this happening. And I have to imagine that the Claims Conference had some role in helping my grandparents pursue justice in this way, as much as they were personally able to pursue that.
You decide to go to a small community 2 hours from here for Yom Kippur.
We thought, well, wouldn't it be nice if, rather than just add to the crowd here in Berlin on Yom Kippur, we find a small community that maybe is not so crowded on Yom Kippur, maybe is, I don't know, struggling a little bit to fill the space. And let's go there and let's see if anybody wants to come. The community was really open to having our group. We set up meals with them. We were planning to eat the meal before the fast with them, to break the fast together, and to just add some spirit to the davening there, to really make it lively and energetic. And so we went with a group. We were singing so much, I guess, or so much more than the community is used to, that one of the congregants, one of the elderly congregants in Halle, told one of our participants, this is what's going to make the Jewish people live forever, this kind of energy. So around the third Aliyah, we heard a loud noise. We weren't sure what it was. It could have been a gunshot, it could have been fireworks. We really didn't know. And rapidly, we were made aware that we had to leave the sanctuary because we were in danger. We went upstairs into safe rooms. We really had no idea what was going on. At a certain point, we were told that we could leave the safe rooms, but that we weren't allowed to leave the synagogue. It was on lockdown. And there was probably about an hour of just not knowing what was going on. But we made a choice, and that was to continue praying. So as a community, we finished the Torah service. We finished Musaf. They took us to a hospital in Halle where we were safe and where the hospital staff was incredibly kind and supportive of what we had been through. They even let us pray Ne'ilah and finish Yom Kippur together in the hospital cafeteria, which was incredibly powerful. It was only later, I think when I was being interviewed for CBS, that I learned that the gunman had anti-Semitic intentions and that he had made this video of himself specifically blaming Jews for all the wrongs in the world.
Do you feel that there's special resonance about this concept of, terrorism trying to kill Jews because it's Germany, or not necessarily?
This sort of thing is happening all over the world. My husband and I moved here almost 6 months ago. Right before we moved here, there was a shooting in Pittsburgh and there was a shooting in Poway, and both of those targeted Jews for being Jews. Unfortunately, this is not a story that's unique to Germany anymore. In many ways, just being Jewish in Berlin, in Germany, is a practice of resilience because of the history that happened here. Because everywhere you go, when you step outside, when you walk on the street, you can see the history in front of your eyes. And so every day is a practice of reconstructing memory in a way where it's about reconstructing memory in a manner that makes us stronger. What's important for me is that, just to say, is that as far as next steps for us at Base Berlin and Hillel, we are making it a priority to make sure that everyone in our group receives counseling and support. And it's also a really big priority for us to connect with the families of the deceased and express our support.
I thought it was so symbolic. It just made more sort of sense. The concept of the sukkah, the sort of shield of protection that I sort of imagine was over the synagogue as you all were inside.
Yeah.
Do you feel, just incredibly fortunate, just so
Yeah.
lucky, even despite the fact that 2 people were killed, of course?
Yeah, it was a miracle. For every possible reason, those doors, that door should have opened. It's just a miracle that it didn't.